1. Okay, it's an underscore. So if we put in the underscore, that should do it. Alright, so now we're live on... No, not live with my voice being played in the background. My voice can only come out of one mouth, and that mouth is also your speaker, so 3 mouths. There's too many mouths going on. I'll just speak out of the one I know I have and let my voice fluctuate in tone as the progress progresses. Hi everybody, my name is Ray Catolo, at least I think that's what my name is. However, I was once told that it was Jorge, and to this day I am conflicted. But I'm not conflicted about where I am at this very moment in time, because right now, in this state of affairs, whatever state that might be, Miami's the first thing that comes to my mind every time, and it's not a state. But I'm here with you for another edition of Often Pacing Live to cover the Senditin stakes, the hashtag Senditin, 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 which is of course a popularized phrase on Twitter, created by the man who I am about to call onto this broadcast. You know him as a man, person, human, and also you know him as many other things. I just got to get his number first off of my phone, and I'm not going to read it out loud because I know how much all of you want to call this man. However, I am the 10th caller, and I'm gonna get the grand prize. So, right now we're dialing in to the man.
What's going on, my friend?
He's the busy man. I had a full introduction planned out for you, and I was trying to remember every line of it. I think I got it now. So if you'll give me a second to introduce onto the Often Pacing Live broadcast, the reason why I am unable to get a job at any racetrack because every position I apply for is most likely his, Gabe Prewitt. I did it. I remembered it.
That's great. I like it. That's quite the introduction.
You have quite the career. I don't know what you don't do, sincerely. You're everywhere. On Saturday night, you were at the Meadowlands, and I turned on the Red Mile last night, and sure enough, you were there. I don't know how you got there so quickly. It's like 2017. I didn't think you could get places that quickly.
You know, I used to be able to take it a day at a time. I'm now to the point where I take it an hour at a time. So I'm currently working on the Red Mile morning line odds and race reviews for Thursday, and then this time tomorrow I'll be working on the Meadowlands for Friday night, and of course Hamiltonian Day as well.
Wow, I'm surprised I didn't catch you mid-transit then. I just assumed you're always moving. I mean, you are always moving. You're always doing something. It's like the great Leos Eggroll once said, I'm totally butchering that name, life is motion. Get that on a poster, Gabe. That fits you perfectly. But
I like it. It's going to come to the shock of no one that I'm an action guy. So I like to be on the move, and I like to be at the next party. So it's all good here.
I'm also excited because this Saturday, and this Friday too, will be the first time we could potentially ever meet. I don't know if you'll ever want to see me, but I'll be around. I'll be around.
Absolutely. Yeah, say hello. You'll be at the track on Friday night as well?
I'll be there Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and no other time, because why else would I go any other time? Those are the 2 times that it makes sense to go to the Meadowlands, because it's Hamiltonian weekend, folks. Be there.
Excellent time. No better choice.
I gotta ask you, Gabe, before I start rolling into the real questions I have, because everything I've been asking up to this point is just totally fake. Gabe, alright? Is that short for, like, Gabe-thiny? Gabington? What's Gabe short for?
Gabe is short for Gabriel.
Oh, okay.
Just like the angel.
Yeah, okay. That's very quaint and elegant. Sometimes you never know. People go strange routes. Like, for instance, do you know what Ray is short for?
It's gotta be Raymond, right?
No, it's Cromwell. Like, it doesn't make any sense. That's why I gotta ask. I come from a strange upbringing. But Gabe Prewitt, also known as Gabriel Prewitsky, I'm taking Prewitt short for something too, is the father, the auteur, if you don't pronounce the H, of the Senditin army. Now, I'm curious, Gabe, because this is one of the most interesting ideas in harness racing promotion, especially because it totally utilizes Twitter and the community of horse people on Twitter. So first off, what is the idea of Senditin? How did you fornicate? That's not the word. Formulate this concept.
I would love to say that it was by some master plan that we came up with the hashtag Senditin, and we had this plan all along, and really we were hoping to grow it, but it was by sheer accident. I'm unfortunate to say, because I believe there was a carryover of Pompano at probably a couple of years back, and then they were going to go to the gate soon, and just hammering out a tweet from the announcer's booth, and I used the hashtag Senditin. Don't ask me why. And first thing that came to mind, and that night a couple of other people tweeted back and put their tickets out, and they also copied the same hashtag that I used on the original tweet. So I thought, well, maybe this thing gets some traction. We'll start using it from now when we have big pools of carryovers, and we did, and sort of just grew from there and became used more and more often, and by more and more different people. So we're very fortunate that we have a lot of soldiers in the Senditin Army these days, and they like to play the horses. That's what we all have in common.
Now, before the Senditin Army, I heard rumors that Pompano was only handling around like $20 a card. But after Senditin, you guys started hitting the $1 million mark on like select nights.
It was not quite that low, but there were some dark days. We'll just say that. The Senditin Army has invaded, thankfully, and we are marching those handle numbers up each and every season. Thankfully, we've had some great pools, great carryovers, and we have a lot of fun down in the winter.
Yeah, because for those of you who don't know, as much as I joke about Gabe, I know most of Gabe's jobs, and I will list them off right now. So please, please catch me if I miss one. All right. So you're the track announcer.
Wake me up when you're finished, by
the way. I know it's gonna be a bore. Track announcer at Pompano Park. You're technically a handicapper at Pompano Park, a commentator at Pompano Park too, to go with that. You're on broadcast personality at the Meadowlands. The race caller, morning line maker, that's 2 jobs. Handicapper, 6 jobs at the Red Mile. You basically run the Red Mile, so I'll make that 7. I feel like I'm forgetting something though.
I'm also the director of the Kentucky Harness Workmen's Association.
That's like 12!
Tracks in Kentucky. Yes. That's taken up a lot of my day-to-days. That's been the Monday employment, and most of my attention has gone towards that.
Now, just hearing that, I can hear why I did not win that breakthrough award when I was nominated. But I wasn't nominated against you. I still didn't win, because I don't do as much as then. I'm curious how you're able to do all of that. I mean, sure, it helps that Pompano's off season.
I think that was a sympathy vote for me that year, Ray. I was getting very close to the age barometer, so I think I got a lot of sympathy vote there, as they knew I was aging and I was about to move up in class.
Yes, and they were going, this kid's going to be like, what, 12? Hey, he's not going to die tomorrow. He can make it. I mean, you never know, but I do, actually, I want to, because I remember this, and you're going to remember it too once I say it. One of the great things with Senditin, and I'd be amiss if I didn't mention this, is your fundraising efforts, because you applied the Senditin Army and you created T-shirts that people could purchase, and all of the proceeds went to go benefit the family of now passed away track announcer Sam McKee, and it was great too to see how much you were able to help fund. How much money you're able to raise for them and for a great cause, just from the people within the industry, for someone that we truly miss every day.
It was great, Ray, and we miss Sam so much. What a great friend, and just a great guy, and obviously the best at every role he took on in our business, and really a go-to guy for all of the younger guys in the sport, including myself. As a mentor and a good friend, and to this day, prior to accepting the Meadowlands position, I have never taken a job in the industry that I had not consulted with Sam McKee on. So, very close, valued his opinion, and very much so. And we all miss him dearly, of course. And he's got a great family. He's got 3 daughters. He's got a great wife. So we wanted to do something to help them And luckily, I've got a great friend that is on Twitter at Senior Highlight, I believe is his handle, Scott Hyatt. He had sent us a box. He had some connections to a T-shirt shop, and I believe a family member that runs that. So really unannounced one time, I got a box at Pompano in my office, and random box, and then I opened it up, and there were those really cool T-shirts. He had designed them and everything to send it in, and he had sent a message, said, hey, had extra shirts laying around at the T-shirt shop. Thought you guys would like these. You can use them in a contest, and it was really awesome. Really cool thing for him to do. He is, by the way, a card-carrying member of the Senditin Army, so he thought it would be great, and with some of the traction that we get, maybe we could use them as giveaways. So we did, and then we actually got other people were asking for them even after we gave away many of the originals that he sent. We didn't really have any plan, obviously, to sell them or make even other copies. It was great, and we did have some fun contests. You remember one we had to pick the most horses to finish last one night in Pompano, the Up the Track contest. So we did some fun-type contests. A couple of nights we had mandatory payouts. We asked who could guess closest to the total pool. So we did some things that were a little out of the ordinary to give some of those shirts away. We had a lot of fun, a lot of participation from everyone on social media, both Facebook and Twitter. And luckily, we had a lot of people ask me those, so we decided that, you know what, maybe there's some interest out there. The people like the shirts, and we would love to do something to raise money for Sam, because it was actually at the Meadowlands one night when I first went to work there, and they talked about they were still trying to raise money to pay off the college debts and things. So I put two and two together and said, you know what, let's try to sell these and push them and see where we can raise some money. So we ended up making about $7 a shirt, maybe a little more than that, $7 and change on average when it was all said and done. We've still got some shirts to sell, actually, on track on Hambo Day. So if you are going to the Hambo, anyone that's going to the Hambo, you'll have your chance to purchase, because we're no longer offering them on eBay. The link expired. We did have just a few extra shirts, so we had printed extras and printed some incorrectly. But we are going to sell those on track on Hambo Day. More Fanning and the Hamiltonian Society are going to help us out with that. So any of that money that's raised is go directly as well. I think right by the end of the day, just on the profit that we made off those shirts, we're going to end up somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,200 or so donated directly to Sam's family. So that's really a good thing. We sold a lot more of those shirts than I anticipated. I thought maybe we wouldn't have much interest out there. But people responded. I think, obviously, knowing that any profit made from those shirts went to Sam's family, made all the difference. Everyone wanted to support that cause.
And one thing I've definitely learned as a newly fiscally responsible adult, even though $1,200 does not sound like a lot, it's all about how you're able. It's just as much as it counts, because $1,200 is still a lot of money, and it's comparable to getting no money. So $1,200 is obviously a great contribution.
And when you think about it, we raised it in such a small amount. Everyone did their little part. When you think about that, all the different people that ordered Senditin shirts, it was not like we took any overwhelming donation. It was just literally these small orders of 1 and 2 shirts that went out to people all across North America, for that matter. And as a matter of fact, I saw a guy wearing one on Meadowlands Face Night at the Meadowlands. There were actually 2 people I saw. One I knew and said hello to. The other guy did not know at all. He was on the roof of the Meadowlands, and I was walking back in the press box, and I said, hey, nice shirt. And the guy said, yeah, you know what? They're great quality. You can go on eBay and order them. He told me all about it. He had no idea that I had anything to do with the shirts. So that was great. I took his advice. I said, okay, I'll check it out. So they're really great quality shirts. That's the bottom line. Scott was tremendously helpful. Really, the only thing I did, Ray, was promoted online, because Scott did all the work. He printed the shirts. He sent out the shirts. He collected the money. He is a great guy, and he did all the work, and should be commended for a great deed.
And you don't have to take credit for that, because your resume is already getting too full. I kid, of course. Where was I gonna go? I had something else on my mind. I'm getting caffeinated too, because this whole week I'm basically pushing myself, and I figured you're doing that all the time, especially getting ready for the Hamiltonian. I was gonna say something about that. I guess it's your first Hambo. It's your first Hambo. right?
Yeah, it is my first handle working there. I was in the handle in 2008, I believe, with three cheap and now one. So yes, so it was my first handle working, and what a great way to wrap up my tenure at the Meadowlands. So over the last 2 months plus, it's been great. Great staff to work with, great team. Most of those guys I grew up, watching and betting the Meadowlands, of course, and really. Always thought they enjoyed watching them and the great, tremendous work. It's really a first-class operation, and I'm sure you've been, Ray, but many people may have not, that the new grandstand is tremendous. It really is. It's something you have to see in person. The rooftop is an extraordinary atmosphere, night in, night out. They have a DJ, a bar, places to bet, patio furniture where you can sit and hang out. You overlook the skyline and the track. There are several restaurants in the grandstand, places to relax. And I think it's a nice new modern facility, and I think it's what we need moving forward in this business, especially given the fact that many places, are just old, and that is a place where you would be proud to invite your friends to go to. It's really a cool place.
I've definitely seen a number of young couples recreate that scene from Titanic on the rooftop. Where Rose is being held off the balcony. People may not have seen Titanic. I don't know. But I remember what I was gonna say regarding the Senditin guy telling you everything about the shirts that you helped promote. That's like the perfect level of fame for you to have. To be involved in the industry, but also not have the burden of having to say, yes, I'm Gabe Prewitt. How'd you know it was me? I know I'm me.
I like to fly under the radar. I like to fly under the radar, so that is all good with me. It was really cool just on that project. That was maybe a month after we had started to sell those shirts, and we were wrapping it up just to see a couple of random people wearing them, and they've gotten out there. I've got pictures and videos of people. They've gotten spread out quite well, so we're happy with that, and obviously with a great cause as well.
I also remember you saying earlier on that you're going to be wrapping up your tenure with the Hambo. Is this really, you're not coming back?
Well, the Meadowlands, that was really the championship meet this season that they had Dave Brown and myself up. We haven't talked about future plans or anything, but it was understood, when we began that it would be through the championship meet, obviously with closing day on Hamiltonian Day. So who knows? I've really enjoyed it up there. Obviously, huge fan of Meadowlands, whether I'm there or not. I think Dave Brower is a tremendous asset to be back at that track. I really hope that that continues on as well, because Dave has been great to work with. And, I'm just a huge Dave Brower fan. He's just as great in person as he comes across on camera. And he was always great when he worked at that track in the past.
Dave's one of the few people I do remember when I was a little pipsqueak actually listening to what I had to say as a handicapper, and I was totally wrong back then. But that just goes to show...
Well, I'm still totally wrong most of the time today, so you're lucky you moved on. I have.
Hey, one thing I respect about you, Gabe, you don't always go with the favorites. You take your shots. That's what I admire with you, and that's what I admire from most... That's what I want from handicappers, and maybe you could pitch this to anybody else you ever work with. No one wants to hear you pick the favorite. They want to hear you pick some outside contenders.
Well, that's sort of what I like to look at, Ray. A race, these horses, there's not much separating these horses, particularly at your overnight levels and things. So a lot of times, if it's a class or an issue where the favorite just completely lays over the field, stands out, obviously we'll go in and swallow the bill and take the favorite and discuss the favorite as my top pick. But, if it's a class where I do think there's not much separating these horses, and there's 3 or 4 horses that I'm between, naturally I'm going to take the better price. And so many times, I think people may not do that, but that's the way that I usually go about it. So yes, occasionally we can swing with a good number, and then have some luck from time to time, once a millennium or so.
Well, Gabe, I gotta leave you. I'd talk to you for another 20 minutes, but we're gonna catch the Senditin Stakes in progress right now on Off and Pacing. Gabe Prewitt, everyone. Thank you for joining me, Gabe.
Thanks, Ray.
All right, you take care. I'll see you on Saturday and Friday. So right now they're moving around the first turn here in the Senditin Stakes, and on the outside, going up for the lead to take it from KB Bountiful comes Lady Aurelia. Lady Aurelia passes that first quarter in 26-2 to lead by a length from KB Bountiful as they move on into the back stretch. It's Lady Aurelia a length in front here as they move on to that halfway point. Second then to the inside comes KB Bountiful. Third then, as I'm trying to find the field on my phone, they aren't popping up for some reason, so as they move on to the halfway point, I'm going to recall this race, folks. I'll give you a replay. I'm going to have to give you a replay. I don't have the field in front of me. This is a technical mishap. However, I can tell you Lady Aurelia is moving around the turn in front. And you know what? I'm not going to spoil it. We're going to recall this. I apologize. We're going to recall this race. I'm going to get the field for you. I don't feel like I do this justice if I don't call the race correctly. So technical snafu here in the Senditin Stakes. Again, I want to thank Gabe Prewitt for joining us and taking time out of his busy schedule. As you heard, he was working on the morning line for the Red Miles Thursday program. And that, of course, has a post time of 7:30? I think it's 7:30. But again, I do not want to half-butt, as I censor myself, half-butt this call. I will give it the justice it deserves, as I have to write down the field before we get a replay. And it's going to be for the next replay. So bear with me, folks. We will get this call in. Meanwhile, I want to ask, how's your days going? I'll pull up the Periscope right now. Let's make this a Q&A session right now as I'm getting the fields together. I'm going to ask you, how's your day going? How ashamed are you of me at this point in time? Thank you for joining me and sticking through here. I have the Periscope open. At this point, taking any questions you have while I get ready to call the Senditin Stakes on tape. Gotta call it on tape because we had a great interview with Gabe Prewitt. Again, thank you for tuning in to the Often Pacing live broadcast of the Senditin Stakes. We will be catching the Senditin Stakes on tape delay in a Memento, which is a movie directed by the late great, he's still great, not that late, Christopher Nolan. As in a minute or so, we will catch the Senditin Stakes on tape. But once again, if you were just tuning in, you can catch on replay my interview with Gabe Prewitt. I think that's what he said his name stood for. He is, of course, the man of any job you can think of in harness racing, and any job that I do not have because of that. I'm not trying to sound that arrogant, folks, but Gabe is one of the hardest working people in this industry, all-around great guy, and founder of the hashtag Senditin Army, which is the namesake of this stakes race from Mohawk Racetrack. $1 million. Send it in stakes. We got this time. We're good to go. Catch it on loop one more time. This is the Senditin Stakes from Mohawk Racetrack in motion and approaching the start. Often pacing, KB Bountiful fires out from the far outside. Dank Madison moves towards the rail and to the lead as they move on past that first eighth and towards that first turn. Wide then comes Killer on the Loose up to third, while Ace Ferocious gets away fourth to the inside of KB Bountiful. Fifth then K and Key Beautiful Storm parked out sixth. Yankees. Seventh then to the outside Lady Aurelia. Then it's back to Franco Saga in front of JMC Shooting Star and the trailer Dank Tats. Opening quarter up in 26-2 as Killer on the Loose advances to the lead to take it from KB Bountiful on their way to the backstretch. Third to the inside, Dank Madison from Yankees dropping back to the outside of Ace Ferocious fourth. Sixth then to the inside, K&K Beautiful Storm. Second over in sixth comes Lady Aurelia about 4 lengths off the lead. Seventh then to the inside, Franco Saga in front of JMC Shooting Star. Second to last and still trailing is Dank Tats. On to the halfway point, Killer on the Loose. Still a length in front of KB Bountiful sitting second. second. Dank Madison's then back third, 2 lengths off the lead. Ace Ferocious locked in fourth as Yankees is not advancing to her outside fifth, while KNK Beautiful Storm's locked in sixth. Lady Aurelia is caught behind Dole Cover seventh as they go by the half in 53 and 4, 27 and 2 that second quarter, moving around the final turn. Chasing Killer on the Loose, a length in front of KB Bountiful sitting second. Dank Madison's yet to move from third. Then Ace Ferocious now with room to tip out from fourth. KNK Beautiful Storm behind her fifth. Sixth then comes Franco's Saga to the inside of Yankees, and now out of the pocket, KB Bountiful looking to pounce on Killer on the Loose. 3/4 in 121 and 4. Killer on the Loose now loses the lead to KB Bountiful through the stretch. She advances to a 2-length lead from Ace Ferocious tipping wide in second. Dank Madison's weaving her way through. Now